From the Done by Dark desk, this is Saturday, August 8th. Tonight, the Senate worked through the night, confirmed an attorney general by a single vote, moved the next shutdown deadline, safely passed its own elections, and then left town for 5 weeks. Iran's diplomats say the Hormuz deal is very close. Iran's military says the strait was never theirs to trade, and 2 stories we owed you from Friday. We start where we left you. Last night we asked whether anybody else would break on Todd Blanche. Nobody did. In the small hours of this morning, the Senate confirmed the president's former personal defense lawyer as attorney general, 50 votes to 49. The 2 Republicans who voted no were Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, the same 2 we named for you last night, and no others. Every Democrat voted against. The arithmetic was decided by who was not there. Senator Mitch McConnell is still away from the Capitol after a hospitalization, and his absence is the reason a 50-49 result was possible at all. Collins gave her reason in one sentence. While I believe Mr. Blanche is a capable lawyer, the Department of Justice has become increasingly political. Senator Bill Cassidy, who voted yes and whose vote kept the nomination alive, put it this way: Mr. Blanche is not perfect, and he will tell you this, but the choice is not between perfection and Mr. Blanche. Then, before anybody went home, they did something with a date attached to it. The Senate voted 90-6 to fund the government through the 11th of December. Look at that date. It falls after the November elections. Whatever fight is coming over federal spending, and one is coming, it will not now land in the middle of a campaign. This does not settle the argument. It moves it to a month when nobody is standing for re-election. 2 things the White House asked for are not in it. The administration wanted $1 billion to begin building a new class of battleships. The Senate said no. It wanted authority to move money to the Border Patrol. The bill blocks it. The measure also blocks a rule that would have given senior political appointees more say over who gets federal grants. And it delays a ban on hemp products by a month. And one more thing worth keeping straight. The House has not voted on any of this. Until it does, none of it is law. None of it is. Now 2 things we owed you from Friday because we did not carry them, and we should have. First, the Senate passed a Russia sanctions bill, 86 votes to 11. It sanctions Russian leaders, penalizes countries that buy Russian oil and gas, and hands the president authority for tariffs of up to 100% on the biggest buyers, China and India among them. It is named for the late Senator Lindsey Graham, who died in July at 71, and who secured the White House's support for it before his death. Second, a federal appeals court blocked the president's White House ballroom, ruling that only Congress can authorize it. That one is heading for the Supreme Court. Now something that is not yet a decision and needs telling carefully. The Washington Post reported on Thursday, citing 4 people familiar with the matter, that the White House is drafting an executive order touching 3 things: the childhood vaccine schedule, funding for autism research, and parental choice over vaccination. Bloomberg reported the same effort independently, and CNN confirmed it with an administration official. Here is what nobody has: the text. No draft has been made public. No signing date has been announced, and the White House will not confirm the order exists. Its spokesman would say only that the president has been clear that America must have the best childhood vaccine schedule in the world. And on the underlying question, there is no real argument. Dozens of studies covering millions of children have found no link between vaccines and autism, and the paper that started the claim was fraudulent and was retracted. To the Strait of Hormuz, and to the 4th night in a row that we have told you the same thing. It is still not signed. Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, said today the agreement with Oman is, in his words, very close, and then attached a condition to it, which is that the strait only fully reopens if the United States honors commitments it made in June. 4 nights, 4 announcements, no paper. But tonight, for the first time, we can tell you something about why. Because today, Iran's military contradicted Iran's diplomats in public. A spokesman for the Revolutionary Guard, Hossein Mohebi, said reopening the strait has its own specific mechanism and has nothing to do with the negotiations, and warned the United States against interfering in the talks with Oman. Read that plainly. For 4 nights, the foreign ministry has said a deal is nearly done. Tonight, the armed forces said the waterway is not the foreign ministry's to hand over. That is not another delay. That is an argument inside the Iranian government about who controls the strait. And it explains 4 nights of final drafting better than impatience ever did. To Thailand, where a number changed today, and it changed in the worst way a number can. Yesterday, a 14-year-old boy walked into his own school outside Bangkok and killed 5 members of staff. Police believe he had already killed his 2 grandparents at their home that morning. He then killed himself. Today, a 12-year-old girl who had been in hospital since the attack died of her injuries, and the toll became 9. The weapon was a small handgun, legally registered, and it belonged to his grandfather. 14 people were still in hospital today, and 7 of them are in a critical condition. Thailand's Prime Minister, Anutin Charnvirakul, has promised new gun legislation and described it in a single line. The new law will only allow government officials on duty to carry guns. For scale, Thailand has one of the highest rates of civilian gun ownership in Asia, somewhere around 15 firearms for every 100 people. And the promise we have now made you twice. Last night we said that if the disease agency's update on the lettuce outbreak did not arrive, we would tell you that too. It did not arrive. The page has not moved since Wednesday. 6,358 laboratory confirmed illnesses across 15 states, 278 people in hospital, 2 deaths, both in Michigan. Nothing has got worse. The agency has simply gone quiet, and the last person we know of who got sick fell ill on the 31st of July. 4 short ones. Dave Bratt, the former Republican congressman, has been confirmed as ambassador to Australia. The Justice Department has accused Duke Law School of unlawful race-based admissions. Louisiana has ended more than 60 years of federal oversight of school desegregation. And the Federal Aviation Administration is still investigating Thursday night's failure at a Minneapolis control center, which grounded and diverted flights across 10 states in the Midwest. Sunday, August 9th. Whether the House moves on that funding bill or leaves it sitting. Whether Tehran and Muscat produce a piece of paper on night 5. The disease agency's update, which we will keep asking about. And the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope is 3 weeks out from launch, still scheduled for the 30th. That is Saturday, August 8th. The Senate confirmed an attorney general by 1 vote and moved the next fight past the election. Iran's soldiers and Iran's diplomats disagreed in public about who owns a shipping lane. And we told you what we missed. Sleep well. We will see you tomorrow night.